Okay, this is second attempt of recording. This is a review of wide boots made by 32, Burton, and K2. Real quick, right off the bat, let me just say 32 is my favorite. I also happen to like a stiffer boot, and this was a stiffer boot. So, also in the video, I noticed that these look like I just opened these, so they're kind of more relaxed, where these are tight, and so they look a little smaller. So just, yeah, keep that in mind. These, I just freshly opened this. And these are a little more broken in. I've started walking around in these, so they look a little bit even bigger. But yeah, these are all 10.5 wide. The 32 is the widest. The K2 is just about as wide. Maybe the same, but I think it's a little bit more narrow. And then the Burton is the most narrow, and I mean, you can even see it. I don't know if you can tell on the video, but if I do like this between these two, I don't know how good that lighting is, but it's like pretty noticeable. And in the 32 and the K2, my toes felt spread out. They weren't being, my pinky toe wasn't being crushed. In terms of firmness, 32 is the most firm, then the Burton, and then the K2 was the softest. In the K2, I had a lot of wiggle room in my heel, so I tightened it so much that I created a pressure point. And the K2 has this blue like piece of plastic right here. I guess it gives some extra firmness. I'm not really sure. The other two didn't have that, and I did notice when I tightened it all the way, it did create, it felt like this piece was pushing in. So with the, and I did get some pressure points on this one as well, but not as bad. With the Burton and the 32 have instead, or I don't know if it's instead, but they have this lacing system, which just tightens the inner boot for you, which I prefer. And then 32 is the only one to have this strap, which just further tightens the inner boot. So I definitely felt like the inner boot felt the most snug on the 32. And then once I got in there, I was able to really tighten it, but I think because it was so firm, it didn't create any pressure points. Also, one major thing about the 32, and I'll just show you the 32 while I'm talking about it, is this boot comes standard with a heel hold kit for the inner boot, which looks like this. So you take this piece out, and inside there's a pocket, and this makes the biggest difference on your fit, because my forefoot is it's a 4-to-1 forefoot, which I think most people have a 2-to-1. So my forefoot is like more wide than the normal forefoot, but my heel is just a normal heel. So I need these, and I was thinking of buying these on the internet because I had heard about them. But they came standard with the 32, which to me really says something about 32. They seem to know the most about making boots. I don't really know. I'm not a huge, crazy snowboarding person. I'm not a pro. I've only rid Burton boots before, and although the Burtons were great, having this come standard like really made the fit just so much better. And when you open it, it just looks like this. So you get them in 2 widths. You can put a few of them in. Orange is like 1 millimeter thick, and the black is 3. So I have one black, and I'll probably put in like an orange, get it a little bit tighter. But with that, you can create the perfect fit. And I think this was like the main thing that I loved about the 32. Plus it was wider, plus it was stiffer. And then it had, just a few little extra things to get extra tight. I'll just show you, I'm trying to think what else. They all have the double boa, which is amazing. First time I've ever had any boa, and it worked perfectly. They were all great. I honestly would snowboard in any of these. They're all better than what I currently had. And before I got the 32s, I was actually considering keeping both the Burtons and the K2s, one harder boot, one softer boot, to see how they broke in and see which one I preferred. Because I honestly liked them both and I couldn't decide. But the 32 took the cake. Look at this beast. Look how wide it is. But it's not... Again, you can still create the perfect fit in there with that heel hold, maybe a thicker sock if it's a little bit too wide for you. But, I mean, it is a wide boot. It's supposed to be wide. And I also think it looks awesome. I think it looks pretty cool. Probably the coolest of the three. The Burton was the most expensive. I believe the 32 and the K2 were roughly the same, but I kind of probably have to double check. The insoles that it came with, so this is the Burton. The Burton and the 32 have like a pretty good amount of, sorry, I'm new at this. They have a pretty good amount of support. I personally don't care because I wear orthotics, so I took them out. The K2 had nothing. Like, it's just a piece of paper. Yeah, you might not need support, so some people don't. I need so much support that I have orthotics. So next thing would be, I guess, the sole. This is the K2. It comes with this grips. I don't know what that is, but seems pretty good. Seems fine. Definitely doesn't feel like it would do as good on ice as probably the number one, which is the Burton, which is a Vibram sole. This, I think, has the best sole, but I honestly don't think would really matter too much for me. I would say this maybe looks like it has the second best. Like, it looks like it would just dig in a little bit more, but I don't know. Yeah, this doesn't really matter too much to me. They all would probably be perfectly fine in any conditions I'm going to be walking or snowboarding in. And I guess the last thing, I'll just kind of show you all three of these side by side. Maybe take the camera around. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm bad at making videos. Oh, there we go. I was just too close. So again, this is the K2 double boa, and it's called the K2 Maysis Wide. I hope I said that at the beginning. This is the BurtonPhoton, BurtonPhoton double boa, and this is the 32 TM-2 double boa wide. That's the name of this boot, I guess. Yeah, so that's it, and hope you enjoyed it. You can ask me any questions in the comments, and hopefully I'll answer. All right, see you then.